shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks. So there is actually a pretty weird thing I've noticed after watching these brand new Crystalized episodes a few times, and this quote-unquote weird thing I'm talking about is the dialogue. I imagine a lot of you watching this video have probably also noticed it by now, but today I wanted to unpack all of my thoughts on this particular topic and discuss why exactly I'm not really the biggest fan of some of the dialogue found in this episode. Now, do not get me wrong, episode 13 in particular had mostly pretty fantastic dialogue, mainly towards the beginning. However, it starts to get a little bit strange towards the end half of the episode. To be specific, the scene in which Lloyd is talking to Harumi. Now, where do I even begin here? A lot of the dialogue between Harumi and Lloyd is simply just weird, and as vague as that sounds, it's really the only way I can put it here. Now, most of my issues with this do actually come from Harumi's side. For example, quote, "I'm trying to make a dramatic exit." The volleyball team line, which was, I mean, kind of funny to be fair, I guess. But my issue here is this stuff just feels extremely out of character to me, if that makes sense. And I know that the term out of character is thrown around more than it should be in the Ninjago community. But for Harumi in particular to be saying this stuff, regardless of if she's kind of changed a bit since the events of Season 9 and Season 8, I wouldn't really take Harumi as the kind of person to say stuff like, quote-unquote, she's trying to make a dramatic exit, or even just joke about the volleyball stuff. Now, the volleyball team line is a bit more understandable, I guess, because clearly she sees Lloyd is completely having his judgment being completely clouded. He doesn't even know what's happening and what's real anymore, so I guess she does kind of play with that. So, you know, I can put that line aside, although still, it's a bit weird. But just for her to be acting this way in the scene in which she's talking to Lloyd, it just comes across as really, really weird. Now, I've heard a few rumours that this episode was written by somebody different, which, if that is true, I cannot verify or deny that just yet. But if that is actually true, then I guess that explains why some of the dialogue just doesn't feel like these characters. So maybe that is true, although I could be completely wrong. I haven't actually done any research into that at all. I've just heard it on Twitter, I think once or twice. So maybe this was written by a completely different writer behind the show, which, again, would definitely explain why Harumi sounds really out of character. But regardless, she just sounds weird, to put it simply. I just do not have another way of saying it. But someone like Harumi, right, she's really kind of serious, and is kind of just overall a pretty dark character, even just in terms of personality. And Harumi is not really animated in that way. She's not really an animated villain that likes to express herself in that way, and she's definitely not really that sarcastic, at least definitely not to that extent. But I don't know, it just kind of feels like a low-effort attempt at trying to make a funny joke in a kids' show. It's just something that really doesn't fit into this scene. If a different character said it, then maybe I could understand it. But for Harumi in particular to be saying this, I don't know, it just does not seem like anything she would ever say in Season 9, for example. Can you just imagine she dropped off a really sarcastic line in the middle of Season 9 to Garmadon or something? It just wouldn't fit in at all. And while she's definitely had, I guess, sarcastic moments slightly throughout her entire run in the show, nothing to this extent. I mean, just the line, "I'm trying to make a dramatic exit," I don't know, it makes me cringe a little bit, and again, feels really out of character for Harumi. So I just wanted to discuss this today because I feel like this is a fairly big issue with episode 13. Now, I can't really necessarily say that it's bad and just straight up terrible because Season 7 exists for bad dialogue, but it's just not really good either, and it's kind of a bit cringy, and it's just a bit questionable overall. And I wanted to make a full video on this because I'd say it's a fairly big aspect of episode 13, and whenever I think about it and go to give it a rating, the dialogue definitely does hold it back slightly just because of how weird and out of character it does seem. But I think that's just about going to do it for this one, and that's all I really wanted to get across in this video. So with all of this being said, feel free to drop your thoughts down below on all of this in the comments. I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts on this today. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Drop a like on it if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel for more very similar to this, and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to watch my new videos when they do come out almost every day. And with all of this being said, I'll see you all soon for my next one. Goodbye.